Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon in some other places. This is Financial Literacy 101. In about a minute here, we'll be joining with Sean. He's a Nigerian lawyer. Also, he knows to teach us how that we can possibly buy land in Nigeria and some other parts of Africa. I think that is very important information that we should actually learn. Nonetheless, he's going to break this down right after this. Stay tuned. All right, without further ado, let's bring in Sean. What's going on, Sean? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. There's a lot of excited people here coming inside the chat. They want to know how they can actually purchase land in Nigeria and also some other places. Now, before we get started, I've been getting information for a couple of my subscribers and friends about certain information that they received from some other Nigerians as well. And some history that dates back to 2017. It says here in a landmark decision on April 17th, April 2017, 17th of April 2017, the Supreme Court of Nigeria held that foreigners cannot legally and validly own land in Nigeria. This decision is of significant interest for the international investing community. What does that mean to foundational Black Americans who want to essentially travel to Africa and possibly invest inside the land?
Okay. I'm aware of that Supreme Court's decision. But for every rule, there's always an exception to the rule. The thing is, generally, foreigners are not allowed to. There are restrictions, more or less, in the acquisition of property or land in Nigeria. But there are certain other ways whereby people can acquire land, even though if you're a foreigner. Like we said earlier, the last time we spoke, you were talking about how can one become a citizen, of course, by marriage. Once you marry someone who happens to be a Nigerian, you become you become a Nigerian by virtue of the fact that you're married to someone. There are other ways of becoming a citizen too that is allowed by the Constitution, which is by naturalization. You understand? And if there's anything I know that most countries in Africa, if you're capable of making useful contribution towards the economy or to the progress or the well-being of that country, after fulfilling certain requirements, you become a citizen and you'll be able to have the rights of a citizen. But that's just by the way. Now, the thing is that I will start with because now I want to broaden the scope to Africa in itself. And I'm particularly interested in Ghana because I know a little about Ghana. Now, for instance, you find a lot of Americans going to Ghana. Why? Because there are no restrictions to ownership of property in Ghana. You understand? Even though there are 4 types of properties in Ghana, you have the government land, you have the vested land, you have the customary or the stool land, and you have the family land. Now, and some of them, for instance, I know of the government land, you can acquire and buy from their government. You can also acquire property, even if you're not a citizen in that country, for their customary or the stool land, provided the stool or the leader who is authorized, gives you the rights and is able to sell to you. I'm not sure of the vested and the family land. I can't talk about that. But I know that those other 2, whether it's land or property, once you have rights, even as a foreigner, to acquire property under those 2 that I mentioned earlier. Now, in respect to Nigeria, foreigners can acquire property, but there are restrictions. Foreigners can acquire property or land in Nigeria, even though there are restrictions. For instance, we have the acquisition of lands by alien law of Lagos.
Say that again.
The acquisition of lands by alien law of Lagos. That is, an alien can acquire land. It's a law in one of the metropolitan states in Nigeria. That's Lagos State. Now, whereby an alien or a foreigner or any person who is not a native, that is, once you're not a native, you're not born in Nigeria and all that, or companies that are owned by foreigners in Nigeria can acquire land. And how do you do this? First and foremost, any African country, anybody goes, I encourage people to lawyer up. once you want to invest in property in any African country, it is always wise to look for a lawyer in that country, a reputable lawyer. And I'm sure some of them are paid for slots online. You can put like prominent law firms in Nigeria or law firms in Nigeria, or in a situation whereby you know a Nigerian or a lawyer from Nigeria that can give you a referral to someone that they feel is reputable and capable in that respect.
Let me interject for a second, Sean. So in order to own a property outright in Nigeria, either I have to be a citizen or through marriage or naturalization. Is that what you're saying essentially?
Yeah,
or,
that way it's easier. You don't need any of those restrictions. You can, But now in the case of a situation whereby, you're an alien or a foreigner, I mentioned to you the acquisition of lands by aliens, the alien log of Lagos. In this situation, of course, you get it. All these things are done. That's why I said you must get a lawyer. All these things are done on behalf by a lawyer. You understand? Whereby a foreigner can apply to the governor of the state, of Lagos State, this respect, and the governor must give a written consent. Now, once you can acquire a written consent or a written approval that you want to purchase a property, and the government gives you, the governor rather, gives you a written approval, provided you meet the specifications of that law that I mentioned to you, and all this should be handled by a lawyer, you understand? You can acquire property in Nigeria. The only thing is that when you acquire this property, you won't have rights to that particular property for more than 25 years. That means at the end of
25 years.
More than 25 years. The only thing is that at the end of 25 years, you can renew. You understand?
Okay. So it almost sounds like you're leasing the property.
More or less. That's why I said if you're getting it, but I'll mention other ways to you or to you. You know, so that is if you're getting it directly in person and all that. Now
so you won't totally own the land. It's almost like you can purchase the land for a certain time frame and you can make profit of it, but then you have to renew essentially that contract.
After 25 years.
Let me ask you this. Let's say an African American goes over there. How will I begin to naturalize or to become a citizen?
Like I mentioned to you, like marriage is one of them.
Marriage, okay.
Yeah. When I talk about naturalization, that is, you must have stayed in the country. All these things are specified. Usually,
like 5 years or something like that.
Depending. One, it depends on your contribution.
Okay.
Two, if you're able to prove that you've been domiciled for a particular period of time. I know that if you stay in the country for like a year and certain previous number of years before then, you can apply to be a naturalized citizen. Then, of course, once you contribute to your known and you contribute to the economy and to the advancement, you can apply for that. And that is all can be given by once an application is made to the president of the country, that can be done. Now, like I was talking about the acquisition of lands by alien law of Lagos. If you have interest in a property or land and it's less than 3 years, you don't need the written consent of the governor, even though you're a foreigner. Once maybe you're interested in the property.
Oh, but you can only have it for 3 years.
Yeah, if it is 3 years or less, you don't need any. Maybe you could lease a land or purchase a land and you use it for 3 years or less. You don't really need the written consent of the governor of Lagos State. Now, but in a situation whereby you need the property and you want to acquire the property, you can renew that after 25 years. The only thing is that you must get the written approval of the governor. You understand?
I do.
Yeah, and you have an option to renew at every point in time.
Now, you want it less than 3 years. You want the land less than 3 years for whatever purpose.
You don't need it to get a contract.
Here's the question though. You want it less than 3 years. Can you sell it or you can't sell it within that 3? Like if I buy it, or I guess I'm leasing it.
Let me give you a typical example. Let's say you need land and you want to farm. You can lease the land for like 3 years, do what you need to do, make your profit and get out.
But you can't resell it.
That's why I said lease. That's why I mentioned lease. The moment you're purchasing, usually it's better if you are purchasing. That is in. I'm going to give you other options. I'm just telling you one of so many ways. You understand? So, like I mentioned, like 25 years, get the written consent of the governor. You own the property, and at the end of 25 years, you have an option to renew. It's still yours. It should definitely be given. The most important thing is that you get the written approval. Once you get written approval, you're good. But you see, the thing is, because it's cumbersome and people think that 25 years is a short period of time, most people go through other means, making use of corporate vehicles and all that. You understand? For instance, now, if you want to acquire property, what most people do, and that is why I tell anybody, once you want to do such things, engage the services of a lawyer. People that are experienced in the field, those that are interested, lawyers that know about commercial law, they would help you in this. Usually we encourage people to like incorporate a company. You understand? A situation whereby they incorporate a company, a limited liability company with a minimum. We encourage people to incorporate a limited liability company whose shares are not less than 10 million share capital. It doesn't mean that you have to pay 10 million naira or $10 million. It's just that the shares there in that company that you're going to incorporate shouldn't be less than 10 million share capital. For instance, it could be you and your partner, even though both of you are foreigners, you engage the services of a lawyer. It tells you what to do. So instead of acquiring the property under your name, Ross, you understand, or the land under your name, Ross, you and your partner can come together, even though both of you are foreigners, engage the services of a lawyer, go to the Corporate Affairs Commission, get a lawyer to do that, to incorporate the company for you under the Companies and Allied Matters Act. There are certain procedures, certain documents that will be provided. Just make sure that that company, first and foremost, is a private limited company. The share capital in that company is not less than 10 million. It could be more, but it's not less than 10 million share capital. You understand? Then you get a lawyer to do a reservation of name to do that. Then of course they get your documents. You provide them with your data, the data page of your international passports and all that, and your lawyer files for the company to be incorporated. Of course, it's going to state, for instance, let's say you want to acquire land to build an Airbnb or apartment complexes. So you state that in your articles and your memorandum, and everything is listed there, so that they know, oh, okay, you're trying to invest in the economy, a property company. And once you do that and you're able to incorporate, of course, they provide you the tax, it's called the tax identification number. You understand? Then once your lawyer goes ahead and incorporates the company on your behalf, and you provided everything, you don't need to be present in the country when all these things are going on. You come in, maybe.
So I can be in the US while this is going on.
First thing is, once you're doing this, you come into the country, you engage a lawyer physically. It's better to sit down with a lawyer and do this. Of course, you can get this once you go to the Nigerian embassy, get a visiting visa, which of 6 months. You come in within that period of time, engage the services of a lawyer. It tells you what is going to charge you and everything. It tells you the documents to provide. Once you provide everything, it goes ahead and files it. The only thing is probably, thank God for technology, you start having Zoom meetings with him. It tells you what to do. It gives you an update per time, what needs to be done. Like, for instance, I put a note here. I said, like, let me just state this quickly. I said that the required share capital for a foreign-owned company is a minimum of 10 million share capital and above, because this is the minimum share capital that is accepted by the Ministry of Interior and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Corporation for the purposes of securing business permits and expatriate quota approvals. You understand? So,
I do.
Yeah. So even though you're a foreigner, you can own a company through a limited liability company. And you know, one of the things about a limited liability company is that the company itself becomes a legal person under the law. You know, when you have, like you have in US, you have your LLC, like a limited liability company, your debts or is solely, you know, limited to the assets you have in that company. So once the creditors come after the company, they can only go after the assets of the company and they can't go after your own personal assets.
Oh, so it's separate like it is in America.
Yeah, it's a separate legal person. The company becomes a legal person. So you now acquire the property under the name of that property, of that company rather.
So let me ask you this. What is the difference in, since essentially if I don't become naturalized, which I just read, become naturalized as a Nigerian citizen is for a foreigner, is 15 years living in Nigeria. I thought it was 5, but it's 15 years. But so if I can't really buy land, if I'm not married to a Nigerian, I'm not naturalized as a Nigerian, I can lease land up to 25 years. So how much
you can buy, you can purchase the land. Excuse me. What I mean, I didn't say you can lease land for up to 25 years. I said you can lease land for 3 years. That way you don't need the approval of the governor. But under the alien Lagos state law, which is the acquisition of lands by alien law of Lagos, if you buy a property, it is your property, yeah, but you can only own that land for a period of 25 years. Then after 25 years, you need to renew. How do you renew ownership? By getting the consent of the governor again. You know, that, oh, I'm a foreigner.
So you own it. You own it with the contingency.
Exactly. So in that instance, you just get the governor's consent, a written consent by the governor of Lagos State. I can tell you categorically about Lagos State is the commercial nerve center of the country. I've lived in Lagos. I know a lot about the law of Lagos State. I can't really particularly say about other states, but I can tell you that in Lagos State, that is a requirement. Once you can fulfill that requirement and you can get, of course, through your lawyer, you can get the written consent of the governor.
Is there anything that will prevent the renew of me continue to own this land? And here's the thing. If I can own this land up to 25 years, am I going to pay is there a differential in price? Because essentially, what if they don't renew another?
It's not like you're going to pay for the land all over again. All you just need is his consent.
Okay.
It's not like you're buying the land all over again. No. Okay. All you just is a written consent that, yeah, I'm a foreigner, I own this land. And, you know, because by virtue of the fact that I'm a foreigner and I own this particular property or land, and it's 25 years, I need your written consent to continue to own this land.
I understand.
So that means that maybe at the end of 25 years and you're no longer interested in staying or you don't want to get the written consent, you can always sell it and get out. Because naturally, even when you have land and, you know, the government only recognizes that you have land for 99 years, which is subject to renewal, but really at the end of 99 years, most people are dead, nobody cares to renew, and they just continue to own the property.
So to bypass all these restrictions of renewing the ownership of 25 years, this married Nigerian. Got it.
One, but in the case, you already have a partner that you're committed to. So in that instance, just get a lawyer. Tells you what to do. Incorporate a company. Provide all the necessary documents that are required for that. For instance, now the requirements and the documents that will be required are of course, you guys, they'll tell you to decide on 3 names, likely names that you want to name the company. Of course, you state the minimum share capital that, oh, Mr. Lawyer, I want TED to be nothing less than 10 million share capital. You understand? you're going to state, the lawyer, you're going to state how you and your spouse are going to divide the shares. Okay, in this instance, oh, I want to own 6 million shares. Let my partner have 4 million shares. You're going to state all that to your lawyer. Then, of course, you provide, being directors or shareholders of the company, you provide your residential addresses overseas or abroad in the US. You make it available to your lawyer. Now, the data page of your international passport or your government issued means of identification or driver's license in the US, you make copies and you give it to your lawyer. And your lawyer, once the lawyer does this in process within a few days, because usually incorporations can be done within 14 days if there are no major issues. Now, once the documents are available, your lawyer can always fax or send those documents to you via DHL, speed post. You sign it from wherever you are, you send it back. Your lawyer is more like the foot soldier doing all this. While you're in the US, of course, you come in initially, you put everything in place, spend some time, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, you go back to the US, your lawyer is doing all this. You understand? Once the incorporation is done, then you'll be required to have a physical address, for that business, because a physical address is going to be one of the things that will be needed for the business permits. Because once the company is set up, now your lawyer now goes ahead to get you a business permit and an expatriate quota.
How much is you like, so with the exception of buying the land, how much is it for the lawyer to basically build the LLC in Nigeria and as well get all the permits that you need in order to run the business? This give me an arbitrary number.
It's difficult because this varies from one lawyer to another. If it depends on the kind of lawyer you're doing with.
Just be one lawyer.
All you need is one lawyer. It could be one lawyer that owns a law firm. He has other lawyers under him, and he tells, oh, you take care of this part, you take care of that part. It could be one single lawyer. It could be, that is if you're making use of a large law firm or a medium-sized law firm. There are also small law firms whereby they just have like 3, 4, 5 lawyers in them, whereby, one person undertakes the process and all that. The most important thing is, first and foremost, what you need is someone who is capable, who is experienced, who knows what they're doing. You understand? That's why, to a large extent, when you're going to do such things, you go online, you look for reputable law firms, or you get referrals from people that know people that are capable, or lawyers that are capable.
But you don't have a ballpark number. Like, I'm just curious. You don't have just throw me something. Give me a bone, man. Just give me a ballpark number of a similar deal.
Listen, there are law firms that you get in, they might charge you like $100,000, $50,000 to do the entire thing. I've not mentioned the entire thing because it takes a lot of work from the lawyer.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You mean like US dollars?
Yeah. When you hold on. That's why I said it depends on the lawyer you're dealing with, really.
Yeah.
It depends. Of course,
I want Lil Daryl from around Lagos. Lil Daryl.
The thing is, usually I just tell you, like, when you're going to do that, engage a lawyer on a retainership, whereby you don't have to pay them for every service they do. They're on a retainership, whereby at the end of every year, you give them a certain agreed sum. Of course, you pay the initial amount, but they know how to go about everything. So it depends from one particular lawyer to the other. Because, unlike in America, whereby, the law firm is specialized, you have those that are engaged in insurance. You have Nigeria, a lawyer can be involved, could have his hands in so many cookies at the same time. Because once you're called to the bar in Nigeria, you become a solicitor and an advocate. So you can either practice as a solicitor, as an advocate, and in some instances, you're doing both at the same time.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this: Do you know any procedures or any dealings of how to buy land in Ghana? Because you did mention that. Do you know how to buy land in Ghana?
No, I just mentioned not in detail, But I just mentioned to you that once you get to Ghana, like I said, also once you get into Ghana, get a lawyer. Now, once you get a lawyer and he sees a particular land, just like in every other country, let them go to the land registry, let them conduct a search to know the type of land that particular land is. It's not just like somebody tells you, there's a piece of land here. If you pay this XYZ amount of money, it's all yours. And, you know, some people are gullible and they just drop money. That's why a lot of, you know, foreigners, a lot of African Americans, a lot of white people will tell you, oh, those people are fraudsters and all that, because they don't do their due diligence. That's why I tell people, once you want to invest in any country, go there. Okay, I'm going to spend a month down here. Talk to the right set of people, get a lawyer. So like in Ghana, like those types of land, the lawyer is going to go there, is going to conduct a search, is going to tell you what kind of land is there, if there's a restriction on foreigners, for foreigners to acquire such property. And if there's no restriction, it goes you how to go about it. And of course, unlike in Nigeria, whereby each individual lawyer determines what they are going to get, in Ghana, what the lawyer earns with respect to facilitating a transaction is determined by their bar association. You understand?
So basically, it doesn't matter what country you go to, you need to find a legitimate lawyer or you'll be crushed, you'll be smashed.
Trust me, if you don't get a legitimate lawyer, they're going to swindle you. You're going to lose money. Do you understand? You're going to lose money.
Now, in reference to Nigeria and your knowledge of other African countries, does Nigeria have a lot of cheap land in comparison to other African countries, or is it one most expensive lands?
You see, depending on where you're buying the land. Okay. You know, any land you buy, the first thing that determines the price of that land is location. One, what is the value of properties around in that area? I can tell you, like in where the billionaires, quote and unquote, stay in Nigeria, land goes for as much as 500 million naira, which if I convert it to like close to about $1 million. Some people pay, some people buy it outrightly. That does not include what they're going to build on there. Those are where the billionaires stay. You go to places like Banana Island, you know, fucking billionaires in any currency. You find
What about Lagos versus Accra in Ghana? Like, do you know the price difference of buying land in the major cities?
Oh, I won't particularly tell you because I don't want to mislead people. But the thing is, you find that I know that like some international rappers like Meek Mill, I know someone like Charlamagne the God, their properties in Ghana. And a lot of
so Meek Mill and Charlamagne the Fraud, I mean the God has property in Nigeria. I mean Ghana.
He has a house, he bought a house in Ghana. Meek Mill talked about so you find a lot of African Americans go to Ghana because there are no restrictions. In the case of Nigeria, you have to make use of corporate vehicles to get this thing in a trade company and all that. Even though once you do that, at the end of the day, you as an individual would not become personally liable if anything happens. They can only chase the assets of that company. But usually it's good because once you do that, once you can incorporate a company, your lawyer goes about getting you a business permit, gets you an expatriate quota. Then after that, through the Nigerian Investment Promotion Company, which is situated in the Ministry of Interior, you can file in all your papers to get a residential permit, yourself and your family. And your residential permit will just be renewable every 2 years, non-stop. So you live there, you can do business there, you can leave, you can go and come and do things. And, it's always better, usually, if you're going to invest in property, use a company. You understand?
So, I guess what a lot of people will want to know is, what is the benefit of an African American going to Nigeria to buy land? What is the benefit versus other countries who may be more friendly for us to come over and buy land, like Ghana and other African countries?
First and foremost, you get good value for money. Once you can invest, like I told you, you make your rent on a yearly basis. There are some people that actually lease out properties like 10 years, and they're paid for 10 years, 5 years at a time, which is a lot of money, especially if you have corporate clients that are going to get that property from you or lease or rent that particular property from you. You understand? And the beauty about Nigeria is any money you make in Nigeria is a legal means and you paid your tax, the government does not restrict you on the amount of money you can move out of the country. It's not like they will say, oh, because you want to move this money out, you have to buy something to take to the US, like, no. For instance, now, if I have money in the US and it gets to a certain amount and I want to move it back to Africa, they tell me to buy tools, to buy things to take down. That way, one way or the other, you still have to contribute to the economy. But once you paid your dues, you've invested, you've made your money from the system, nothing restricts you from taking your money out of the system. So you find a lot of foreign individuals come into the country, they make their money, they take their money out. Probably what some of them leave down there, probably recurrent expenditure and all that. So once you make your money legally there, you can take your money out. It's actually more than this. Right now, it's about 450 naira to $1.
So now, what is the large conversion like? Because of course, when we go over there, our money is going to be converted into Nigerian Nari. Is it Nari?
Naira.
Not Naira. Okay, Naira. So Nigerian Naira, a lot of times, sometimes, as Americans, when we go to other lands, we get confused about the conversion. Like, say, for instance, you go to the Philippines, for every American dollar, that's 50 pesos. But essentially, how does that essentially convert into when I'm trying to purchase something?
Okay, for instance, now, like currently, this amount is not even the correct thing. This is not the correct amount right now. Right now, the naira against the dollar is like almost 450, if not more.
I know. And what I'm saying is kind of give us like an example, like in America, let's just say a loaf of bread is.
Let's say in a good area, let's say like around Lekki Chevron axis, you can still get property for like 24 million naira. So when you put it in dollars, that's like
You said how many in naira?
So like 24, 25 million naira, you can still get property in some very good locations that will give you very good returns. So probably you'll be talking about $35,000, where you find people of decent means of income come to probably rent. And, for instance, if you buy land for 24 million naira and you're able to build something on it, you'll be getting rent in a year for about 3.54 million naira for each apartment. So let's say you have 6 apartments there. The truth is, whatever you invest in buying that land or building the property, in 4 or 5 years, you've gotten it back.
So I'll buy a property for 25 million naira, which is only 65,000 US dollars.
Is that up to 65? Because if $10,000 is about 4.5 million, and 25, okay, let's say about $50,000. No. That's not the current exchange rate, but let's say about $50,000. And you build something on, let's say you build like 4 apartments on it, on that land, on a plot of land. I can tell you that each flat is going to earn you about 3.5 million, 4 million, let's say 3.5 million. So on the 4 flats, you're earning about 40 million naira in a year.
I'm doing the conversions right now because you said that if it's 10,000 US dollars, how much is it essentially in naira? So that's, oh yeah. So around, like you said, around 4 million. It is 3.8 million naira.
Exchange rate is wrong. The current exchange rate is actually about 450. That much I can tell you.
Okay, the current exchange rate. Okay.
This exchange rate that you have there is the bank rate, but there's something we call the black market rate, which is what
I know what you're talking about. Once you get into the country and go to a local, you get more for your money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once it's a recognized bureau to change.
So now you're saying, so basically essentially with 10,000 American dollars, what can I expect to buy in Nigeria as far as land is concerned?
You might get it in an average area, but when you're talking about where you can earn good money, I'll tell you to spend about $50,000 to acquire the property. Then of course you build depending on on the money you have on you. You know, you're going to determine how fast. Let's say you want to complete your project in 3 years. You understand? You complete your project in 3 years. I can tell you that at the end of every year, you'll be commanding about between 10 to 14 million naira from that particular land. If you let it out on each apartment, like 3.5 million, 3.5 million, because let's even assume 3 million, 3 times 4, that's 12 billion naira. So when you break it down, that's good money. I don't have.
I guess what I'm asking is, and this is a weird question, but I get this a lot. Is a like in America, a dollar is a dollar, right? But in Nigeria, the naira is not naira for naira. Like, is it? I got the question, man. I'm losing my. I guess what I'm asking is this. Let's take for instance.
Let me just
how much? No. Here it is. How much U.S. money, if I went to Africa, that I could be considered a millionaire in Nigeria? How much money in American dollar would I need to be a millionaire and live like a millionaire?
I tell you, like 1 million naira is like what? A million naira is like, how do I put it? It's barely $3,000.
Okay.
And let's say in a year, you want to live comfortably, you need about between 4 to 6 million naira. So that's why I said with $10,000, you can live comfortably in Nigeria. Good.
No, what I'm saying is this, because Nigeria has a lot of millionaires. I know this, right? But what I'm asking is, just like millionaires live in America, how much American money would I have to go over to Nigeria, whatever thousands of dollars that will convert me to being a millionaire in Nigeria? That's what I'm asking.
I just told you 1 million naira is about $3,000. So if you're looking at it, if you're looking at the figure that I'm a millionaire, you could say, oh, I have 1 million naira. By virtue of 1 million naira, I'm a millionaire. But when you want to say people that are rich, if you want to consider the rich people, like, okay, this person is moderately rich, you're talking about 15 million naira upwards.
And how much that is in dollars?
That's just a little over average. So 15 million naira converted to dollars. So that's why I told you that if you want to live comfortably.
So basically, with $5,000 in Nigeria, and I'm just making sure I'm getting this clear. In Nigeria, I would be considered a millionaire, just like somebody would be considered a millionaire in America.
Well, let's say it's easier to make $1 million naira in Nigeria than it's easier to make $1 million in America.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not looked at as the same, though, is it? It's not looked at as the same.
You see, because the thing is, this is it. Once you work and you are hardworking and you're above average, I think you should have $1 million naira more in your account in Nigeria. But if you want to say, okay, I have some money, you should be talking about 15, 20 million. That okay, I'm above average, I'm rich, I'm not influential, I can't say I'm wealthy, but but when you want to say, okay, I am rich, I'm comfortable, yeah, you find people, for instance, like with a building on it. Let me give you a typical example. Where the rich people stay, the very rich people stay, they buy properties for like, not land, the property on it, everything on it, all built. Let's say $100 million, 100 million naira.
How much?
100 million naira. 100, 120, 150 million naira.
Wow.
You understand? It's all built. It's all built.
I'm trying to do the conversions because you said 100 million naira. You were talking about at least $500,000.
Is that up to 500,000?
500,000 US dollar equals 190 million naira.
I said 100 million. That's 100 million. This is 190.
Yeah. Take 90,000 off, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So with like $250,000, you get a very wonderful house in the millionaires blocks, more or less. Of course, there is the billionaire block, but in millionaires block with like $250,000, you get a place, and most people pay this amount outrightly.
But if I had $3,000 US dollars converting to naira coming in every month, $3,000, that's all I had, I will live very well.
If you make $3,000 coming in every month, you live very well.
Okay, hold on, I'm out.
Once you can earn, once on a monthly basis, once you can earn $1 million naira, you're good. You're very good.
Okay. So let me ask this one last question. What is the average that you know of, the average income that most Nigerians have?
Will I say there's an average
in dollars, if you can?
You see, the thing is, it's difficult to say, but once you graduate in the university, let's say you should be able to make between 200,000 naira to 250,000 naira.
Okay.
That's about, let's say, $8,000 a month.
8,000?
Yeah. People earn less, but let's say $1,000 a month should be the average once you're educated and you go to the university.
Okay.
So now imagine that you now earn about $3,000 a month. You're good. Mm-hmm. You'll be very comfortable. You'll live comfortably with your partner and with like 1 or 2 kids every month without any hassles or issues.
So basically, instead of coming to America, I should be coming to Africa and being a millionaire with $3,000.
Well, you see, the thing is, the like I said, like everything has to do with the cost of living. You find that there are a lot of poor people down there who don't earn as much. So when you earn that kind of money, you are able to afford a lot of things compared to when you earn $1,000 in the US. It's not so much, really.
So here's a question. We're going to start answering some questions here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in order of precedence. I see questions popping up. Let's see here. Thank you, Clan Killer, for pointing out, trying to learn. Here we says so you can. So this is LaShawn. She says so you can purchase through a homeowner without all the red tape. That's more of a statement. There is a question on here that I give me. Will says that Janae Will said Ghana, I would love property, and that's the thing. Ghana has made it very, very easy for us to come over there. And I think
because Ghana is trying to open up its economy, and you see most of the transactions in Ghana is done in the US dollars. In dollars. So once you go to Ghana, you can spend your dollars as in to transact business.
But that benefits Ghana, though. That's why they're doing that.
Yeah. They are trying to build the economy. They are trying to open the economy. A second, please. 1 second.
So right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to Sean. He's a Nigerian lawyer, and he's walking us through how to buy land in Nigeria. Did I say Ghana? I mean, he's a Nigerian lawyer who's walking us through how to buy land in Nigeria. Also, the cost of living, the currency converter rating, as far as how much money that you need in order to live a very well life in Nigeria is around $3,000. I think Ghana is around the same. The reason why Ghana in some aspects are more popular than Nigeria is because Ghana has been doing a lot of marketing and advertising for African Americans to come back to Ghana and invest in Ghana, live in Ghana, build in Ghana, buy land in Ghana. So the same restrictions that Nigeria have, Ghana doesn't have, but we're trying to find out how also can we spread, because believe it or not, during the translated slave trade, they're like myself, I trace my roots back. My ancestry goes back to Nigeria and some part of Ghana. So a lot of African Americans, we have Nigerian bloodlines, especially if you look at all the African countries. Nigerians are some of the biggest Africans. When you compare them to Guyanese people, Sinhalese people in Kenya, Gambia, Nigerians are some of the biggest people. But go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, like Nigeria has the largest population of Africans in the world.
Yes.
The population of Nigeria is over 220 million officially. So unofficially is more than that. That much I can tell you. So for every African you see, one is in Nigeria. And in Africa, Nigeria is one of the most expensive places. I'm not talking of South Africa. It's one of the most expensive places to live in. So if you have $1,000,
expensive too. Madagascar.
Yeah. So because they have a lot of tourism and all that.
Exactly.
So with $1,000 in America, if you have $1,000 and you pay your phone bill, your rent, and all that, it's nothing really in a month. You know.
So here's another question for you, Sean. It says here, so where is the best areas to live in Nigeria?
It depends on how much you earn. Like in Lagos,
hey, this person may be a billionaire.
Yeah, in Lagos, once you're comfortable above average, people want to live around Lekki, the Lekki Peninsula access, the Ajah area, some parts, those are on the island. Most people, they want to stay on the island. Now, the average or below average would probably stay on the mainland access. Then you find a lot. That's why you find a lot on the mainland. Some parts of the mainland is where you find a lot of poor people. Then some other parts, the average people. The rich or slightly above average, they want to live in Lekki. And then if you're fucking billionaire, so excuse my language, they want to live around Parkview. They want to live in Ikoyi. They want to live in Banana Island, where you find other billionaires like yourself, whereby you drive a Bentley, you see Rolls Royces, you see G-Wagons, you find some people park like 5 or 6 Rolls Royces in their garage, different types, the Ghost and different also.
Oh, wow.
So then there are some places too in Abuja, which is considered the capital, the federal capital territory, where the seat of power, where government is, a lot of government contractors, where the senators, the people in power, the political elites live. So there are some very cool places there. Then you now think about places like Port Harcourt. You talk about the north. You talk about places like Kaduna. So depends, usually depends on your earning power, your capacity to earn. But Lagos is popular. Lagos is the commercial nerve center.
Are there any American neighborhoods, like Black American neighborhoods, where a lot of them, because essentially what Black Americans do, I know they've done this in Ghana, they'll find out that, there's 2 or 3 families, Black Americans living in this Ghanaian neighborhood. So they'll go to that neighborhood because you want to feel some familiarity of people speaking the same language. Because, you're going to learn the language in Ghana.
Yeah. You find a lot of Americans stay in Lekki, then in VGC, Victoria Garden City. Those are exclusive neighborhoods. You find the Blacks too, but you find some Americans, some expatriates. You find a lot of them on the island. That's why I said the island. You know, do
How,
you find?
how much is it like? What's the from what you can remember? How much is like rent in Lagos? I know it's by the year, but how much is like
Okay,
living in a
okay,
moderate neighborhood?
okay. Let's say, like in a year, if you want to live comfortably and you're above average, a little above average, or you know, you and you want to stay on the island, when you want to stay in places like Oniru, which is also okay, good. You find rent in a year is about between 1.5 and 1.8 million naira. That's just
Oh,
in a year you're paying less than $5,000.
I'm just converting as you talking. I'm just converting it.
That's your rent for an entire year.
$5,000 for the entire year.
For the entire year.
Okay, so all my subscribers,
So,
we're moving to Africa here in the next month. No, I'm kidding.
So, but if you want to stay in places like Lekki, where the very big boys, you still see they're rich and you can afford to buy property there and you want to rent a flat, you see, if you want to stay in it, if you want to stay in a duplex, you probably pay 4 million. But if you want to stay in a flat, you probably pay between 2.5 and 3.5 million.
So bottom line is 1 million naira doesn't mean that you are a millionaire in Nigeria.
1 million naira means you're comfortable. You're good. You're comfortable. So don't look at the figures. Don't look at the million. But once you earn, if you earn a million naira a month in Nigeria, which is about $3,000 in a month, and that's what you earn in a month, you would live very well.
All right. We got one more, Shauna, and we're going to close this out. Someone says, I'm thinking about Zambia. The exchanges for one USD is $21. I guess whatever the Zambia money is named, plus Zambia has a vast amount of farmland available. I know Nigeria has the biggest GDP. Nigeria is doing very, very well. The last thing I would say, in these neighborhoods, if you can try to sum it up for us, most things that African Americans will go, because it's a strange land to us. Essentially, this is where our ancestors are from. But the one thing that we're worried about, we can go to Baltimore, we can go to the projects in DC, we can go to the barrels in New York, and we understand. We have what they call street knowledge, right? We understand we have this street knowledge. But in Nigeria, I guess what I'm asking is, as far as safety. I know there's some neighborhoods that you like, no, don't move over there. You should move over here if you're a foreigner. Like,
if you're a foreigner, I'll tell you to try to get a place on the island. Maybe around Lekki, around Aja.
The island has its own security?
What?
Does the island have their own security?
Let's say the island, because the island has a lot of, some parts of the island, that's where you have corporate offices, you have a lot of clubs, you have a lot of, social places on the island. So the security down there is more like 24/7.
Okay.
Unlike on the mainland, you have some places too, but maybe if you go to a place like Ikeja, yeah, you have some measure of security there, but security on the mainland might not be 24 hours. But the thing is, by and large, most parts of Nigeria is quite safe. Believe me, it's not as dangerous as some places in America. You understand? It's very safe. Very safe. Especially in the southern part of the country. I've never lived in the north because of the things people hear, the Boko Haram, the kidnappings and all that. Probably happens in the north, and it happens in the remote parts of the north. You understand? But you don't find it in the southern part of the country. For instance, Nigeria has like 36 states. Africa has about 50 or 52 countries in that continent. The population of Africa is like over 1 billion. The population of Nigeria alone is over 220 million. You understand? So it's big. It's big. The most important thing is, when you're in Africa, especially if you don't know the terrain or the environment, I encourage people to listen more, talk less, listen more, study the environment you're in, everybody looks like you.
No Americans, they just want to shut up and listen.
Yeah, everybody looks like you, and except you now start to, oh, I'm from the United. Really, no, probably nobody would really pay attention to that. You know,
I just shut up, I'll blend in. Give me some of your clothes.
Because you look like me, you can just trade a shirt, put on a pair of jeans, you know, some sneakers, and you can just walk down the street. Nobody knows anything.
No. No, Sean, I have to dress like a real African. I gotta have sweatpants with penny loafers on and sweats. No, I'm kidding.
If you want to dress like an African, then probably you will have to wear the native wear. But really, Africa is, listen, the first thing I can tell you about any country in Africa is that they are accommodating people. People will be willing to help you.
All right.
Don't unnecessarily flaunt cash in front of people.
Oh,
Do you understand?
No.
Once people find out, they would genuinely help you.
All right, Sean, we're gonna have to end it right here, brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your information. Thank you for your knowledge. Believe me, I appreciate it. I know the subscriber appreciate it as well. We will have Sean on again to give us some more information, but I just want to thank you for the bottom of my heart, brother. I do appreciate it. Do you have any comments you want to make at the end here?
Yeah, just trying to say that you should, like I said, try to invest in Africa, try to go to Africa, get to see things in Africa. The cost of living in Africa is not as expensive as America. Spend some time down there, your early days and everything, get to see the beauty of Africa. Don't go to one country in Africa. Most people tend to go to South Africa, which is good because they find a lot of whites and all that. Don't just go to South Africa, go to every aspect of Africa, the eastern part of Africa, the western part, the northern part, everywhere. Then now decide to make your choice. Africa is a beautiful place. Invest your money in Africa. You can invest in, if you don't want to invest your money directly in Africa, look for people, hardworking people you can invest in and can give you returns in Africa. Maybe people that are in the IT field, you have a kind of understanding with them, they give you returns that are sincere. Some people are into farming, they just need the capital. You can invest in them, they give you returns. You know, if you don't want to do that directly, you can actually look for genuine businesses to invest in Africa and get your returns. Africa is a beautiful place, please.
Well, thank you, brother. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and invest in Africa, a very profitable adventure. If not, visit where you come from and where your ancestors sent you from. I'm out.
Yeah.